Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I am going to be telling you my anticipated releases for 2025. So I have got a list on my phone of the books that I am anticipating. I've pre-ordered all of these books. There will be more added to this list, quite possibly. But as of this moment right now, these are the ones I've pre-ordered. I am not always completely up to date with everything that is coming out. I wish I was more informed, but I'm sometimes just not. And yeah, these are all the books that I have pre-ordered. I have got dates for everything. These may change as the year goes on due to publishing schedules. I'm pretty sure one of them already did, but that's not on this list, so that's a different thing. And then I've got 3 that I've just got months, so I'll talk about those at the end. I don't really know an awful lot about most of these books. If they are brand new to me, I will know books if they are sequels, so bear with me. I probably won't do full in-depth descriptions, but these are just the books that I am excited to see come out. Now, the very first one I'm actually lucky enough to already own my copy of, and that is God Ascended by Jeffrey Speight. This is the 3rd and final book in an Archives of Evelium? I never get that right, tale. I've already read the other 2 books and greatly enjoyed them. So I can't tell you a lot about this book. I'm not going to read any blurbs or anything because that would spoil everything for the first book. But this releases on the 1st of January 2025. ARCs have already gone out to reviewers, which is why I'm very lucky to have a copy. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sending me one to complete my collection, but you can purchase this from the 1st. This is an indie published book. It is D&D inspired, or it's got that kind of vibe to it. We are following our main character Umra, who is half orc, and he finds himself struggling a lot in the public eye. He gets a lot of discrimination for this. In the first book, Umra embarks on a journey with a group of orcs, but unfortunately tragedy strikes, so he is then set on a completely different path. We are introduced to so many different characters within this series, and they all have different roles to play, which is really, really cool. It's very fantastical. It is very much D&D. There's paladins, there's bards, there's all sorts, and I'm not very D&D clued up, so if you are like, not sure that's for me, definitely give it a go, because it might be. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not very fluent in that world, but I really did enjoy the world and the characters and the writing, so worth checking out if you haven't already. Carrying on, we have then got February, and I have got The Dark Mirror by Samantha Shannon. So I have actually got copies of the first 2 books. You can just see them here in the corner of my frame for the Bone Season, the new released copies, because she's rewritten them slightly, and I read the Bone Season before it got rewritten, so I want to reread the series. And obviously I also have a few other books that I still need to read before I get to Dark Mirror, but it is one that I am looking forward to getting my hands on. I want to complete the series. I might buy some of the books with some gift cards that I've got left over from this year, so maybe you'll see them in a haul coming soon. But the Bone Season is dystopian. Our main character is like a dream walker, I think, and it's very, very rare. It's a very rare power, and she gets taken away and put into this like camp. I'm remembering very hazily because it's been a little while since I read the book, but I know it is set in a version of Oxford, which is very cool. So I'm looking forward to carrying on with that series. I'm going to reread the Bone Season at some point, so then I can get the updated version and then continue to read from there and see how that goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. Another one for February is The Rising by Joe Riccioni, which is the sequel to The Branded, which has been featured in my best books of the year video. I'll link it up here for you. This book really took me by surprise. It is fantasy romance, which is why I was surprised that I liked it so much, because I'm not usually a romance person, but the world was really cool. I really liked our main character. She's really strong and independent, and she just wants the best for her and her sister, which I can respect. So yeah, this is the second one. It's only a duology, so once I read this sequel I will have finished the series, which is quite nice. I like a good duology in that sense, that you read 2 books and then you're done. There's no long series. On the flip side, I do love a long series so that you can actually sink your teeth into it and read more about the world and the characters, but I'm looking forward to giving that a go. And then in March, I've got Cassandra Clare's The Ragpicker King, which is the sequel to Swordcatcher, and I was also pleasantly surprised by that. Cassandra Clare has written many things, and I have read her books throughout my teen years and so on, and I've got many of them on the shelves. This was her first adult book, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the audiobook as well, so if you want to read this book, try the audiobook. It's done really well in my opinion, and I just liked the flip points of view. In the first book, we meet our prince and his swordcatcher. So the swordcatcher is someone who looks a little bit like him and will step into high-risk events so that if anything were to happen, any threats on the prince's life, the swordcatcher would be in the crosshairs rather than the prince. And he goes through an awful lot. We are also following another character who is female, and she is part of the lowest class of people in this world. They're discriminated against, they're kind of penned in to their section of the city, and these two meet, and it is really interesting. Not interesting like it's going to teach you something, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the writing style and I enjoyed the audiobook, so I'm looking forward to trying the sequel. I was, like I said, pleasantly surprised. Then we skip a couple of months and we have The Sorrow of the Sea by Stephen Orion, which is the third and final book in his series The Nightingale and the Falcon, which is a historical fantasy. Some of the facts are true, but a lot of them have probably been changed so that they fit the story, and obviously we have got the fantastical element as well. And I really have enjoyed reading the first two books in that series. I cannot wait for the third one and to see how the series wraps up. I really need to go back and read Stephen's backlog because I just keep reading his current releases. I started with The Coward and the Warrior, and then I've just kept up with him since. However, I haven't gone back and read the other books that he has released previously, so I really need to get on that next year. Then I've got Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, which comes out in June. I also buy V.E. Schwab, what can I say? I really don't know much about this book. I think it's lesbian vampires, but otherwise, I'm not too sure. My plan is to read every single V.E. Schwab book next year. I have got a schedule with my friend Kate. She has read every single book, so she's just gonna come along for the ride, I suppose, reread the books that she loves, and we're just gonna experience that, and she's gonna experience me reading a lot of them for the first time, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Then another author by author is Catabasis, I think is how I say it, by R.F. Kuang in August. I couldn't tell you anything about this book, like I genuinely couldn't, but I have actually loved everything she's written that I have read. I've really enjoyed The Poppy War, I've read that in full. Yellowface surprised me. I don't actually have a copy of it on my shelves, but I have about 4 copies of Babel now, and I have still yet to read that one, but I've read most other things that she's put out, so I'm excited to see what Catabasis is and how we go about it. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And then the final one that I've got an actual date for is Pollen by Jeff Noon. That comes out in December. I read my first Jeff Noon, was it this year or last year? I can't remember, but it was Vert, which is a book that was released years ago, and it got an anniversary edition published by Angry Robot Books, and I read that. And I have also been reading Gogmagog, which is another book that he released with another author called Steve Beard, and I am really enjoying that and the magic system. I really like the way he writes. It is very much psychedelic, really, like trippy is probably the right word, especially Vert, with taking feathers as drugs essentially, and that was a really interesting book. There were some bits of it that made me uncomfortable, but I think that was kind of the point, and he's a very good writer in that sense. I'm looking forward to seeing what becomes of Pollen, really. Again, it's not really one I know of, but I know that he's going to take me on a journey and I'm probably going to enjoy it. Then the 3 books that I don't have exact dates for, 2 are releasing summer next year, don't know what month. That's The Alarian Code by B.F. Peterson. This kind of gives me the same vibes as Fourth Wing, but stepped up, because I didn't really enjoy Fourth Wing. But the description of the Alarian Code seems much more up my alley, and I can't really say that without backing it up, can I? So let's find the description of the Alarian Code. It's described as Fourth Wing meets the Atlas 6, and I loved the Atlas 6 and I didn't particularly enjoy Fourth Wing. So we'll see how this goes. It's set in an elite university with 4 students testing their mettle to become part of an elite order of dragon riders. It's probably going to be very similar, but I'm just hoping that it's not as, I don't know, there was just something about Fourth Wing I did not like, I did not gel with. I'm just hoping it doesn't have that. And then the other one that is also being released in summer 2025 is Ascension by S.T. Gibson, which is the continuation of the Evocation series. So I was pleasantly surprised by Evocation. I am looking forward to reading Odd Spirits, which I actually have sat on my shelf down here. And also, yeah, I want to try Ascension as well and see if I get on with that one. And the final book that doesn't have a date exactly attached to it is First Mage on the Moon, and that is by Cameron Johnson, and I literally can't find out about it anywhere, but I found the request form, and it is Cameron Johnson returns in this innovative space fantasy where wizards race to be the first to touch the moon, also known as the Land of the Gods. A fast-paced read, so I'm looking forward to also trying that out. I think it's going to be different. I've never read a a sci-fi book by Cameron Johnson. I'm not sure if he's ever actually done one, but that's really cool, and I'm looking forward to giving that a go. So I haven't been completely like thorough with my descriptions in this video. It's been very short and sweet, just listing off the books that I'm interested in. I will obviously go through them more when I eventually get my hands on them and I can talk about them. I like going into a lot of my books blind as well, which also probably doesn't help you as a person if you're watching this to like want to read the book, but I get better, I promise. When I review, I'm a little bit better. Anyways, that's besides the point. Those are all my anticipated reads for this year. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below of a book that you are anticipating to read next year. I cannot wait to hear what you have got in store, and maybe I will pre-order it as well. And if you just want to leave me an emoji, leave me any moon emojis for the First Mage on the Moon, because I'm really looking forward to that book. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ringing that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I'm uploading every single day until Christmas Eve, so be sure to come back tomorrow for another video. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye! The Christmas tree's on fire, Santa's holding the lighter. My parents are both liars, I got gifts but 1 subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket, oh god, another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid, am I dreaming? What just happened?